Good morning. I'm Lonnie Bunch. I am the Secretary of the Smithsonian Institution. I think, like so many of us, I was shaped by my family. Born in Newark, my grandfather was a sharecropper, moved from North Carolina to New Jersey, and by that decision transformed the family. And for me, history has always been family-driven. It's always been personal. And I find whenever I am struggling, I dip into my own family history and think about somebody cropping for years and changing their lives, somebody battling segregation. So for me, family history is both about learning more about history broadly, but giving me the reservoir that I can dip into to give myself the sense of possibility.
Outstanding. And today we are at the ASALH annual luncheon. In the spirit of ASALH, my follow-up question is, how can we best preserve family histories in what we do as ASALH, the Association for the Study of African American Life and History?
I think it's important to really demonstrate how important family histories are. Often people think their family story is not that important. It's crucial for organizations like ASALH to encourage people to do the oral interviews with the oldest person in the family, keep those documents, but also share them with other families so that you inspire them to do this work and do it well.
Outstanding. And we'll transition now to voting. Why is it important that we deal with the issue of getting out the vote, particularly in our community?
I think it is unbelievably sad when large numbers of African Americans who can vote do not vote, especially when you look at the history, when you look at the number of people who lost their lives, who suffered intimidation, the number of people who believed that the most important thing one can do is protest, because protest is the highest form of patriotism, and they believed that the vote was essential to that protest. So I am always moved when I look back and disappointed when people don't take fullest advantage of that opportunity.
And I want to segue to our final question, in particular because of your position with the Smithsonian. How important is it to you that in 2020 we are celebrating the 150th anniversary of the 15th Amendment, which gives black men the right to vote in 1870?
When I was building the National Museum of African American History and Culture, I realized that we were on the intersection of 15th Street and Constitution Avenue. So for me, I would always say what we were doing was building on the 15th Amendment, that we were recognizing that that moment, the vote, was so essential to so much that happened throughout the 20th century, and that in essence, what is so crucial is to realize that the fragility of the vote, that it's been taken away, that there have been things done to prevent us from voting, mass incarceration. So for me, this is a moment to celebrate the strength that it took to get that amendment, the years and centuries of African American struggle to do that, but it's also something to remember that this is something that has to be continually protected and continually used.